All right, I'd like to welcome all of you to our first meeting of 2023. Doesn't seem possible. And if we could start with the roll call, please.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to advise that Commissioner Alejo and Commissioner Lopez indicated they would not be attending today. With that, we'll go ahead with the roll call. Commissioner Root Askew.
Here.
Commissioner Craig.
Here.
Commissioner Kong. Thank you. He's waving. Commissioner Oglesby.
Here.
Commissioner Poitras.
Here.
Commissioner Snodgrass.
Here.
Commissioner Velasquez.
Here.
Vice Chair Gorley.
Here.
And Chair Leffel.
Here, thank you. If we could have the Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Gorley, would you lead us, please?
It would be my distinct pleasure. I pledge allegiance to the flag
the United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a special meeting, and it is so that we can be legal and proceed under AB 361. If you have general public comments and they are not on this topic, you have 90 seconds if you would like to go ahead, or if you would like to hold them for our regular meeting, which will follow in about 4 minutes. So that's your choice. Do we have anyone from the public who would like to speak?
And Chair Leffel, could I say a quick announcement and introduction to our interpreter?
Yes, thank you, Darren.
Okay. Si hay alguien que necesita la ayuda de un intérprete hoy, y si estás participando por internet, hay traducción disponible. En la aplicación Zoom, en la parte inferior de la pantalla, hay un icono de globo. Haga clic en ese icono para escuchar en español. Gracias. Chair Leffel, commissioners and public, I would like to introduce our interpreter, Ana Rueda de Vidales, today. She will be interpreting today's meeting from English into Spanish on the Spanish language channel, which is found at the globe icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Ana will also be available to assist during the public comment period. If you are a speaker providing comment in Spanish, please first click on the interpretation tab and click original audio, and Ana will interpret your comments into English. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. I see no public comment at this time.
No hands are raised, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to take yours down?
Yeah, I don't see any hands.
Okay. Kelly, do you want to just tell us what AB 361 is so that we can move forward?
Sure, very briefly, the commission's been making these findings for quite some time now. It's so you can continue to meet remotely while the governor's proclamation of emergency is in effect. I will note that it's expected that he'll lift that emergency the end of February, at which time there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, the commissioners will need to be back in person. And I can go into those exceptions or answer questions if needed. But I think you're probably hearing all of this in your other boards and commissions that you sit with. So I don't want to be redundant, but today is so you can meet remotely today for the next 30 days. Those are the findings in front of the commission.
Okay. So would anyone like to move that we continue under AB 361?
So moved.
Poitras. I'll second, however we go.
All right, we have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Root Askew.
Aye.
Commissioner Craig.
Aye.
Commissioner Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
Commissioner Poitras,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gorley,
Yes.
and Chair Leffel.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, with that, we will adjourn and close out of our special meeting. And we will start our regular commission meeting of Monday, January 23rd, 2023. If I could have a call to order, please, by myself, and then we'll have roll call. Please, Safrina.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Root Askew.
Aye, here.
Thank you. Commissioner Craig.
Here.
Commissioner Kong. Thank you. He waved. Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
Commissioner Poitras.
Yes, here.
Commissioner Snodgrass.
Here.
Commissioner Velasquez.
Aye.
Thank you. Vice Chair Gorley
Present.
and Chair Leffel.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And I will dispense with the Pledge of Allegiance since we just did that and we have all the same people here. We will start with our special business. And first on that is to recognize a couple of our commissioners who served well for the last 4 or 5 years. First, Supervisor Luis Alejo was on the commission for 5 years, served admirably, and we really appreciate the fact that he was a good participant. We delivered, I believe, last Friday a frame certificate to his office for him. And so with that, we say thank you to Supervisor Alejo. The next is Supervisor Chris Lopez, who served for 4 years on the commission. And Chris also was elected twice to the Cal LAFCO board and served very well, representing all of us here in Monterey County, and we're grateful for that. So he also received a certificate on Friday, a framed certificate, which is now in his office. So thank you to both of them. One of the things that we have to do, that we love to do, is to welcome new commissioners and returning commissioners. So we have some changes, and we have Commissioner Wendy Root Askew, who was an alternate and now has been appointed by the Board of Supervisors to serve as a permanent member. The second person is a new commissioner and a new supervisor, Supervisor Glenn Church out of North County, Monterey County. So welcome, Glenn. Look forward to working with you. And the third person is Mary Adams, representing the 5th District, and she will serve as the alternate for the next 4 years. So with that, I'm going to administer the oath to all of you at one time, if we could. Find my oath. And if, do they need to stand, Kelly? Can we do it sitting?
Yeah, that's fine.
Find the oath. If we could, anybody want to make any comments about Supervisors Alejo or Lopez before we take the new oaths?
Chair, currently no hands are raised. Oh, I see 2 hands now, sorry. We have Rose Lavelle Guest.
Yes. Hi, I know you didn't mention Wendy, but I would like to speak on behalf of Wendy Root Askew because she has done such an incredible job for our district. And I'm so delighted that she will be recommissioned. So I just wanted to let you all know that we love her and we want her to be here always.
Perfect. Thank you.
Then we have Commissioner Oglesby's hands up. Commissioner Oglesby, did you intend to have your hand up?
Is this public comment or where are we at?
We're just saying words for Supervisors Lopez and Alejo, thanking them.
Oh, okay. No, that's why I raised my hand. I do want to thank both of them for their service. I didn't really pay attention, but I understand what happened at the Board of Supervisors, but we need to say clearly that the work they did here was admirable and they helped to move LAFCO forward. And I appreciate their help and understanding LAFCO, and I appreciate the work they did on LAFCO. And so I just wanted to be clear about that. So, and then I'll welcome the new people a little bit later, but we should say our gratitudes to the two members coming off.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a hand up from Commissioner Poitras.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to both of them. They were a pleasure to work with, and I enjoyed it while they were here. Thank you.
We have a hand up from Melody Crislock.
Melody Crislock, Public Water Now. It's ironic that Supervisors Lopez and Alejo have voiced their concern about the potential for treating the Latino community unfairly in the absence of a voting Latino member of LAFCO. The rules of LAFCO require commissioners to rule in the interest of the public as a whole, no matter what your race is. Last year, 5 of the 7 members of this board ignored that mandate and ruled in their own interests. When this board ruled against the interest of 130,000 county residents who would benefit from the public buyout of CalAm, there was no concern over the good of the whole, the public. That vote has repercussions. I look forward to more fair-minded representation for everyone in this county with Supervisors Rudascu and Church on board. We're so glad to have you. Thank you so much.
Next up, we have Karen Araujo.
Thank you. I'm Karen Araujo. My family mispronounces it. I would like to say thank you to, let me turn this off. I would like to say thank you to Supervisors Lopez and Alejo for their service. It is very difficult being in public service. We don't always agree, yet having public discourse through bodies like LAFCO, engaging the public is so important. So I would like to thank them for their service and hope I get an opportunity later to say nice things about other people as well. Thank you.
Next up is Commissioner Mayor Ana Velasquez. Commissioner Velasquez, you're currently muted.
Yes, apologize for that. I just wanted to say thank you again to Supervisor Lopez and Alejo for their service to the LAFCO board, and I look forward to continuing the representation of not only our Latino community but the rest of our region as well on the commission. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Rosalind Green.
Thank you, Jonathan, and hello, Darren. I really wanted to also congratulate both Supervisors Alejo and Lopez for the work that they have done. And I also just wanted to say how important it is, because LAFCO decisions do impact District 4, for me to be here to congratulate Supervisor Wendy Root-Askew on today. And I wouldn't have missed this swearing in, as she so graciously just swore me into office as trustee at MPC. So congratulations, Wendy. And I look forward to all the work that you're going to do for everyone, but for our district, specifically representing us.
Thank you. Next up is Christina Medina Dirksen.
Thank you, commissioners. I just want to say congratulations to new commissioners and profusely thank outgoing Alejo and Lopez for their public service. They're very much committed to being a voice for several and for many. But I look forward to a leadership that is representative in District 4 as the most diverse district in Monterey County. Marina is the 8th most diverse city in the entire state of California. So as a Latina elected official up until last month, probably the only one, I am very, very excited to work with our new representatives to Church and SQ to really lead us in a direction that reflects incredible amounts of diversity. So I just want to say congratulations and thank you very, very much, Alejo and Lopez. There might be some more conversation of how LAFCO can look a little more diverse, and I look forward to possibly talking to them about that. I appreciate the alternates. I may be moving up an alternate, but we have Mr. Kong and we have Miss Velasquez doing their great work for South County, and I believe they have enormous potential to be the voice that there may be some concerns that are lacking. So again, thank you very much for your service. Very, very welcomed, and congratulations to some new diversified leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Susan Schiavone.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to thank Supervisor Lopez as well as Supervisor Alejo for their past service. We all appreciated all of the work that they did. I also want to congratulate the two new supervisors who have gotten on, Ms. Adams and Wendy Askew. And I really think it's important for the District 4 having some representation now. At one time, there was only one person from District 4 on this body, and I really think that this district really needs representation. It's a very diverse district, and we have diverse people in our county, and all of us need to be represented equally, and I look forward to that from this board in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Darren or Jonathan, I saw Annalisa's got her hand up and not her electronic hand, so I think she needs to go next. She's been waiting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please go.
Thank you. Greetings and good afternoon. I also would like to thank the former commissioners Alejo and Lopez for their contributions as well as their service. We all know that people have to have a heart to serve, so I commend and thank each of them for their service. And I also would like to congratulate the commissioners coming in, but especially Wendy from District 4, who is my supervisor. Thank you, Wendy, for taking on an additional task. We appreciate you and we salute you today, and congratulations on your position. Thank you. And thank you for seeing my hand and not the electronic hand.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Next up is Anna Thompson.
Yes, Anna Thompson, Carmel. I live in District 5, and I wanted to congratulate Supervisors Askew and Church. I'm so delighted that you're now joining the LAFCO commissioners, and I'm delighted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up is Brian McCarthy.
Thank you. I'm also here today to thank the prior commissioners for their service and very optimistically show my support for all of the new commissioners, whom I know will work hard to support our communities as a whole, as they have in their other roles. My most direct representative, I think, would be Wendy Askew, and is someone who I am very happy to continue to support. And I know will serve this board and the public very well. And I really hope the board will not hesitate to lean on her, as I have, for her empathy and knowledge in various subject matter areas. And I've done that as a constituent of hers. So yeah, under this new board, I just want to speak for myself and say that I feel more represented, and I'm just really happy to see where this board goes in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next up, we have Margie Kay.
Thank you. My name is Margie Kay, and I live within the District 2 supervisor boundaries. I support District 2 Supervisor Glenn Church and District 4 Supervisor Wendy Root Askew as the Monterey County Commissioners on LAFCO, with District 5 Mary Adams as the alternate. I support and know all three supervisors understand and support the LAFCO principles, including infill development, preservation of farmland, and prevention of sprawl. And thank you to past Commissioners Alejo and Lopez for your service. And now let's have some new people. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair Leffel, no hands are raised at this time.
Is Wendy Root Askew? Commissioner Askew, is your hand up?
Oh, wait, we just
Or is that-
received a hand up from Mayor Bruce Delgado.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Chair. All the LAFCO commissioners, of course, we appreciate your service. We know you cover a lot of important issues. And thanks, like everyone said, to the outgoing commissioners, Alejo and Lopez. I want to say that I have not seen anyone work as hard as I've seen Supervisor Church work to be elected. So I think when someone's got the fire in his belly like Glenn has, it's wonderful to see them get elected. And I look forward to all the hard work that he's going to put into being supervisor as well as a LAFCO commissioner. And I think that Supervisor Askew has really showed how hard she's worked on the job. And she's obviously got a lot of effort to put forth in the upcoming years. So I'm really happy that Wendy has been appointed to your board as well, and just wish you all the best. Thank you.
All right. Do we have anyone else?
I see no hands raised, Chair.
No hands.
All right. I'm going to close public comment on this issue. And now we'll do an oath of office. So if I could have Commissioner Wendy Root Askew, Commissioner Glenn Church, and Commissioner Mary Adams, please raise your hand. Do you, Wendy Root Askew, Glenn Church, and Mary Adams solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter?
I will.
I do.
Okay, thank you very much and welcome to the LAFCO Commission 2023. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, may I make a brief comment?
Certainly.
Thank you. I just want to just say for the record that it is an absolute honor to be sworn in to the LAFCO board as a representative for everyone in Monterey County. And I really appreciate some of my constituents who were here today. Unfortunately, we keep doing these swearing ins on Zoom. Maybe someday we'll be in person for them again. But thank you for joining us. And I spend most of my time in District 4, but I just want to be very clear that my commitment to LAFCO is countywide. We deal with significant issues here, arguably some of the most important issues facing our county, like water and housing. And I take seriously the LAFCO mandate to provide for orderly growth and development in our county. I want to be just abundantly and explicitly clear that my interest is in serving all of our county, listening to all perspectives, understanding the issues that come before us, and significantly upholding the mandates of LAFCO. But thank you for the opportunity to serve, and I look forward to working with everyone, continuing to work with everyone on this board. Thank you.
Thank you. So our next order of business is another swearing in. And we have Mayor Craig, who represents the city of Salinas, but more importantly, represents the Mayor's Select Committee. And she was selected again this year to serve in that capacity. Her seat actually is, her term will begin on this one on May 2nd, 2023. But because she was elected on, I believe it was January 6th, we chose to do the swearing in at the same time that we were doing the 3 new members for the boards of supervisors. So her term will be May 2nd of 2023, expiring May 3rd of 2027. And Mayor Craig has served for 2 years, I believe now. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. I took over Mayor Gunter's term.
That's correct. So she will serve, and if we could, does anyone from the public have a comment before I do the oath of office?
Chair, I don't see any hands raised.
All right, thank you. So Kimberly, if you would repeat after me, or not repeat after me, I'll read and you can say yes.
I'll follow your lead.
It's tough. Do you, Kimberly Craig, solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter?
I do. Thank you.
Thank you. And welcome for another 4 years.
Thank you. And through the chair, if I may, just a brief comment. I want to thank all 12 mayors elected were present for the meeting and voted on this particular reappointment. I'm very grateful that the majority of Peninsula mayors and the majority of Salinas Valley mayors elected to keep me in my seat here on LAFCO. And so I just want to acknowledge, similar to what Supervisor Eskew said, I'm all about collaboration, and even being mayor for 2 years, feel like I have no problem picking up the phone and working with every single one of these cities and all 5 county supervisors. So it's an honor and privilege to serve again. And I'm very grateful for the mayors of Monterey County and their confidence in me in representing them here on this board. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that is the end of our special business, and we are going to go into closed session, and the item that is prominent in closed session. Would you like to cover that, Ms. Donlin?
Sure, there's 2 items that we'll be discussing in closed session today. The first is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9. The commission will confer regarding existing litigation, and that's the Monterey Peninsula Water Management District case. And then the second item is pursuant to Government Code 54957.6. The commission will confer regarding labor negotiations for the position of executive officer for LAFCO.
All right, is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on either of these 2 items? All right.
And sorry to interrupt, Chair, one other item that I wanted to make clear for the record. Supervisor Adams contacted me a few days ago and alerted me to the fact that she is chair of the Monterey Peninsula Water Management District Board, so she will not be participating in the closed session item concerning that litigation.
Okay, and I think I see a hand raised with Jane Parker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, just a question. You opened for public comment to speak about the outgoing members of LAFCO. Were you going to open it up to have people comment if they wanted to on the incoming commissioners?
I thought that I did, but I certainly can.
Yeah, I think it was when you asked for comment, it was specific to Kimberly Craig. And so I think taking them as a group makes sense, if that's all right.
All right, go ahead. Did you have a comment?
That was my comment.
Okay.
I let everybody else go in line. I'll take my hand.
Okay, next up is Commissioner Ian Oglesby.
Chair, due to the same reasons, I was appointed by the Mayor Select Committee to serve on the Monterey Peninsula Water Management District. So I will recuse myself from the conversations in regards to the district and the controversies between the district and LAFCO.
So we're going to lose an alternate and a regular commissioner.
And Mayor Oglesby, that was a very recent appointment, correct?
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay, next up is Dr. Laura Solorio.
Yes, hi. My name is Dr. Solorio. I've been a resident of Salinas since 1986, and where I started my career at Natividad Medical Center. So I was a county employee for 30 years. And the daughter of a farm worker who became mayor and of Hollister and on the Board of Supervisors of San Benito County. So I strongly support, equal representation of all groups on all commissions, government agencies, et cetera. I really strongly support the values of the new additions to the Monterey Board of from the Monterey Board of Supervisors to the LAFCO board. I look forward to watching them serve their community with integrity and equity for all. So congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up is Karen Araujo.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Madam Chair, for opening this up for comment. I too want to add my voice to those who admire everything this organization this body is doing, and offer my support, encouragement, and gratitude for the new folks who are seated today. While I happen to be in District 4 and share the admiration that others have expressed about Supervisor Wendy Root Askew, Wendy Root Askew spoke pretty much what I wanted to say. I have found her to be clear in her duty as a supervisor to represent her constituents and keep in mind the wellness of all of Monterey County. And she does that very well. So I wanted to add my voice, say congratulations to everyone taking the oath today, and appreciate the important work you do, representing the public, the wishes of the public, loudly and clearly articulated. So we're counting on you to do that. Thank you so much.
All right.
We have another hand up, Melody Chrislock.
Congratulations to Wendy Root Askew and Glenn Church and Mary Adams. I'm so happy to see you on this board. And I hope that the three of you and others on this board can find a solution to the grave injustice that was done last year to those on the Monterey Peninsula, 100,000 people who need the buyout of Cal-Am to move forward. We really are at the mercy of a very bad actor. You can see Cal-Am now refusing to sign a water purchase agreement to allow any new water for the peninsula to get its desal built. Those of you who were recently elected, Mayor Craig, I'm sorry that you've always voted against the peninsula, and I hope you will change your mind and vote for the interest of everyone in this county. Thank you.
Okay. Another hand up is Susan Schiavone.
Hi, I missed congratulating Glenn Church, whom I have great respect for. I know he will be a great addition to this committee and to the Board of Supervisors. And I do hope everybody will consider and reconsider what was done last year regarding the Monterey Peninsula Water District. We really do have a problem, and we need to have the buyout approved. So I hope you'll reconsider that decision. Thank you very much.
Okay, another hand up is Councilmember Christina Medina Dirksen.
I see that we're going to have to make some rules after this, that everyone gets one time to talk. But Christina, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm on my phone. Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that. I just want to echo what Ms. Chislock had to say. One of the things that struck me with the mayor's appointment is that they do represent the mayors, and also congratulations, Ms. Craig. However, I also would like to see some good representation from the city that she represents in terms of the council makeup and what they would like to see happening. So I just really hope that we can all work together to come to some good solutions and really come to some understanding. And I will just put it out there like I always have. Come out to my town and please be part of our conversation in our district and understand our needs. And as we speak for our constituents, be sure that we're speaking from a regional approach. And I'm looking forward to an extraordinary time on this board as all regional interests are considered going forward. So thank you very much. If you would mute me, please. I've been having problems with my muting ability. So thank you. That is all.
Thank you. Next up is Tammy Jennings.
Yes, I would just like to welcome Glenn Church and Wendy Root Askew to this council, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful year with everyone working together for the best interests of Monterey County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair Leffel, I see no other hands raised.
All right, and I saw no public comment on the closed session item, so we will go into closed session.
Could Chair Leffel, could you?
Yes.
I don't recall seeing the link for the Zoom link for closed session. Could that be resent to me?
Just
Same
to note,
link.
commissioners will be moved into closed session.
We moved. Okay.
So just stay on the line, please. Thank you.
Every Zoom meeting does it differently.
I know, and this is a very good way. I wish the airport could learn to do it this way.
Will the commissioners be returning after closed session?
Yes, we will.
Yes.
And you will bring me in for the second item on closed session, please, Jonathan?
Yes, I will. Just wanted to make sure I got everyone. Is iPad 88, is that Steve Snodgrass, Commissioner Snodgrass? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Apologies, I'm moving you right now.
Jonathan, I still show Commissioner Kong on the outside.
Yes, I think he dropped out. I will add him into there.
Thank you.
David, if you can hear me, you might have received an invitation to close session.
Okay, he's up. He's in. Thank you. At this time, I believe Anna will be leaving us. Thank you, Anna.
Recording in progress.
Oh, shit. Oh, I missed it.
Currently, LAFCO is in closed session, and when they come back, they'll rejoin us.
If I could have Kate mute, please. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. What a godsend. Please give me the conflict dates as soon as possible if they change through my text messaging. My phone number is 408-674-6460.
Forgive me, but someone is unmuted who should be muted as we wait for closed session to end.
Sorry.
Commissioner Adams, you may have received the link to join closed session.
looks like almost everyone has moved back over. I'm not seeing our chair though. Oh, there she is.
She's in.
There she's.
Hey, y'all, sorry. If I ever figure out technical stuff before I retire, it'll be a miracle. Are we all back?
Yes, it looks
Yes.
like we're all back.
Okay. With that, Ms. Donlin, would you do a report out on closed session, please?
Yeah, I don't have any reportable items for today.
All right, thank you. Could we have a roll call back into open session?
Certainly. Thank you, Chair. Starting with Commissioner Adams.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Root Askew.
Here.
Commissioner Church.
Here.
Commissioner Craig.
Here.
Commissioner Kong.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Oglesby.
Here.
Here.
Commissioner Poitras.
Here.
Commissioner Snodgrass.
Here.
Commissioner Velasquez.
Here.
Vice Chair Gorley.
Present.
And Chair Leffel.
Here, thank you.
Thank you.
So we have the consent agenda is next. Do I have anyone from the public that would like to pull an item on the consent agenda or speak to it?
I would like to know what the consent agenda is. I'm new to this all, so you'll have to excuse me.
Consent agenda has draft minutes from meetings of December the 19th. We have a balance sheet of November 30th, a balance sheet of December 31st, a report on anticipated agenda items, and a progress report on special studies. And we have the activities of the Cal LAFCO Commission recommended action.
The Cal LAFCO Commission, please.
All right, and who's speaking? I'm sorry.
My name is Kate Mulligan.
Thank you, Kate. Okay, we have item 7 pulled. Would anyone from the commission like to pull an item?
Move approval of the remaining items.
Oglesby second.
Did I hear a first and a second?
Yes.
Yep, Craig and Oglesby.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Root Askew.
Aye.
Commissioner Church.
Aye.
Commissioner Craig.
Aye.
Commissioner Oglesby.
Aye.
Commissioner Poitras.
Yes.
Vice Chair Gorley.
Yes.
And Chair Leffel.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, item 7. Would you like to cover that, Kate McKenna?
Yes, thank you, Chair Leffel. This report was prepared by our senior analyst, Jonathan Brinkman. And so, Jonathan, can you please give an overview?
Yes. This report provides an update to the commission about changes in the Cal LAFCO board of directors since Supervisor Lopez is not retaining his LAFCO seat. That per the bylaws, there's a vacancy on the Cal LAFCO board, and it's further explained under item 9 about that vacancy on the Cal LAFCO board. But they will need to fill that unexpired term for former Commissioner Lopez. And then on the quarterly report that's attached to this report, just provides information updates on the Cal LAFCO board, including their board committee appointments and executive director to the associations, her contract extension. And then also a legislative committee update. That's regarding the Cal LAFCO has a legislative proposal seeking to clarify in CKH about exemptions to LAFCO's review of out-of-agency service extensions. And in that discussion that LAFCO board had back in July 2022, it's noted in the report that Commissioner Lopez, board member Lopez at the time, voted dissenting against the legislative proposal. Staff also attached a letter that was sent to the LAFCO Legislative Committee for their meeting on January 13th this month. And further reiterating the points made against the proposed legislative proposal that LAFCO is seeking this legislative session. And that's the report.
Thank you.
Move approval, Craig.
Second, Poitras.
We have first and a second.
Through the chair. Might want to do public comment.
Do we have any other public comment on this item? All right, I'll call for a roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Root Askew,
Aye.
Commissioner Church,
Aye.
Commissioner Craig,
Aye.
Commissioner Oglesby,
Aye.
Commissioner Poitras,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gorley,
Yes.
and Chair Leffel.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to new business. The first item is the LAFCO Budget and Finance Committee appointment. And as most of us know, Supervisor Commissioner Lopez represented the supervisors on that committee. And I, as chair, have asked Supervisor Commissioner Glenn Church if he would fill in and serve on that committee with us. He has agreed. So I am asking for a motion to appoint Supervisor Church.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a first from a motion from Gorley, and the second was from.
I'll defer to Supervisor Askew since he's a colleague.
And thank you, Supervisor Church, for your willingness to serve in this way. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. Public comment?
Chair Leffel, I see no hands raised.
All right. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Root Askew,
Aye.
Commissioner Church,
Aye.
Commissioner Craig,
Aye.
Commissioner Oglesby,
Aye.
Commissioner Poitras,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gorley,
Yes.
and Chair Leffel.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Commissioner Church, for saying yes. We'll try to be easy on you. The second item is the California Association of Local Agency Formation Commission Coastal Region County Member Vacancy, which was created with the loss of Supervisor Lopez. So Ms. McKenna, would you like to address that?
Yes, thank you, Chair. The LAFCO is our statewide organization. It has about a 16-member board of directors, including 4 representatives from the coastal region. And there presently is a vacancy, as mentioned, created by the departure of our county member, Chris Lopez. And so LAFCO is now asking for any interested county members serving on a coastal LAFCO, if they are interested in filling that vacancy. The term is for almost 2 full years. Commissioner Lopez had just been reelected to that seat in November. And so today this could be an information item only, or one of our 3 county members could put their name in, and then we would basically present your information to the Cal-LAFCO board. Under the Cal-LAFCO bylaws, this vacancy will be filled by appointment of the Cal-LAFCO Board of Directors rather than by an election of the coastal region LAFCOs. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
And Kate, our county has been represented now by former Supervisor Jane Parker and then by Supervisor Lopez. Isn't that correct?
Yes, we actually have a very long history. Even Commissioner, not even, but Commissioner Gorley has also served. So our legacy of service actually goes back 20 or more years, 30 years.
But this is in different categories, and
yes,
for this county category.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Had
yes.
2 consecutive members.
Right. Supervisor Simone Salinas had served on Cal-LAFCO, and then most recently Supervisor Lopez.
We have a hand up from Commissioner Root Askew, Chair.
Thank you. Just a quick question. So just to clarify, so this is one, when we say a county, a member of LAFCO, that would be limited to one of the county supervisor representatives of LAFCO. Okay. Yes. And the process, as I hear you explaining it, Kate, is that anyone may express interest and then their names would go in for consideration by the Cal-LAFCO board.
That is correct.
And just one final clarifying question for Supervisor Adams. My understanding is that the alternate position is also eligible for Cal-LAFCO service.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'd be happy to support my colleagues if they're interested in this, nominating both of them.
I don't want to sound too much like, who was it, President Johnson? But I don't think that I would be able to serve. It would be difficult for me at this point. For this year, I'm chairing the water board and it would be pretty tough. But I would be fully supportive of Supervisor Church.
Well, I was actually going to make a motion for you, but in that regard, I would actually like to see if I can make the motion for Supervisor Askew. If you were interested, I would be happy to move that you be selected for this.
Maybe we can check in with Kate separate from this meeting, find out what the dates are for those meetings, and figure out whose name we throw forward.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
So we will leave this as a pending item.
All right.
What is the timing on it, Kay?
So far, the Cal-LAFCO organization hasn't given a date. They've just asked us to respond in the next, assuming a couple of weeks, but there's no hard date set yet.
Okay.
Or not.
Excuse me, if we're being asked to respond in the next couple of weeks, we're not going to have them. I'm not sure exactly where our schedule is, but I don't think we have a meeting in the next couple of weeks, correct?
Correct. So I would suggest then, Chair and Commissioners, that you give just a broad authority to any interested county member of this commission, if they so choose, to submit their names, and do that now.
I'll make that motion that we authorize broad authority for any of the 3 to submit a name for consideration by the Cal-LAFCO board.
And I will second that.
Through the chair,
right.
through the chair, and I'm just not trying to make it difficult, so just bear with me on this. Can 3 supervisors have a conversation out of 5 if it's regarding a LAFCO appointment where they are not a majority?
In no way was I suggesting that. I was suggesting that if this board gives authority to to support any of the three, that we could independently find out what the dates are of those meetings, check it against our schedule, and then let our executive officer know whether or not to submit any one individual name.
Great. I
clarify.
appreciate the clarification. I was sorry, you guys can rock, paper, scissors for it or whatever, as long as it's just legal, or if we need to do it in open session, then now I think would be the time to do that. That's all.
Is a good through the chair. It's a good point. I don't think 3 is a quorum of LAFCO, but I think they can do it just by whoever submits a name to Kate. The thing is, tonight, because we're not going to meet in any time soon, are we comfortable with that name going forward? And then legally, do we, through again, Kelly, do we have to have a name tonight, or can we just allow Kate to accept a name and maybe the chair to accept a name and move that forward?
That was my motion.
Yeah,
That would be fine, as was discussed after Mayor Craig clarified the procedure on this.
All right. So we have a motion and a second that if there is someone who is interested, they will discuss it with Kate. And the process, Kate, if I remember correctly, is that we write a letter then as a commission, and that we are endorsing the person from our county who would be eligible and interested.
It's not required that there be a letter from the full commission. The most important aspect is that the nominee is authorized generally to proceed. So
authorized by the commission?
Yes.
Okay.
So with your broad authority, you're giving room to one of our county commissioners to submit their names.
If I can ask the council here, this is a bit of an unusual motion, and I'm just wanting to make sure that this is perfectly legal and acceptable, that we're going to select one of us outside of the board meeting and the rest of the commission knowing this to go on.
What you'd be doing through the motion is ultimately giving the executive officer authority to submit a name after she's able to provide you dates. If you're not comfortable with that, alternatively, I'm wondering if we can quickly look up the dates right now, if that's easily available, and you can all just have this discussion in open session and pick someone.
Sure. We've got
literally double checking my calendar right now, and I can share my screen if that's okay. I've got them up. That's what I was looking at.
It just sounds to me that would be a lot cleaner.
Agreed.
So give me 1 second and I will verify if I'm available. I was hesitant to commit without knowing if that was in fact the case. I am in fact available on the dates of the upcoming board meetings for at least the first half of 2023, and would be happy to represent Monterey County on the Cal LAFCO board if my colleagues so desire to submit my name.
Hey, Wendy, the October 20th one is a natural.
It works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think we had some conversations, Marianne, about what special activities we were going to propose. So we got to follow up on that. But
yes.
So I will amend my motion to put forward my name if there's a second and under the desire of the board.
And I will second that.
All right, we have a first and a second to forward the name of Wendy Root Askew. Do we have anyone from the public that would like to speak on this topic?
I see no hands raised.
I'm sorry.
right.
Could you repeat yourself?
That's a member of the public. Kate, do you wish to speak on this item?
I need to be reminded of the item that you're talking about.
It's item 9 on the agenda. It's considering identifying a county member of the commission who is interested in filling the vacancy on the LAFCO Board of Directors.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get somebody from the community. I think would be a better idea because it seems we're being ignored. Thank you for your ability to provide, for my ability to provide input.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Chair Leffel, I see no other hands raised.
All right, may I ask for a roll call, please?
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Root Askew,
Aye.
Commissioner Church,
Aye.
Commissioner Craig,
Aye.
Commissioner Oglesby,
Aye.
Commissioner Poitras,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gorley,
Yes.
and Chair Leffel.
Yes, thank you. And Wendy, thank you for stepping forward.
I'll look forward to continuing the service, and to the member of the community, if there's specific issues that you wanted to make sure were addressed at LAFCO, I would be happy to sit down and have a conversation. So please do let us know who you are and how we can be in touch. Thank you.
Okay, our next item is our Executive Officer Communication. Ms. McKenna.
Thank you. And I have no items to report tonight.
Okay, Commissioner comments. Anything? I have one. I have a something to ask, I guess. I have been involved with some transportation meetings up in the Bay Area over the last about 18 months. And one of the things that's come out of it is they're asking employers and people who hold meetings to not start them at peak times of the day so that you're not adding peak traffic on to peak traffic. And so it occurred to me that we are one of those because we are starting at 4, which is when a lot of jobs on the peninsula move towards Salinas. So any of us who are moving that way are moving with a pretty large group of people. And then we're also moving back between 5 and 6 with another large group of people. So I was wondering if it would be possible to start at 3 or not later than 3:30 and try to get out of that 4 o'clock group. And it when I time it, it adds between 10 and 15 minutes for a 4 o'clock meeting, or if I go earlier, I can cut 10 or 15 minutes off of the travel time. So I know when the peak is. So I'm just throwing that out there for discussion. So I imagine we have to calendar it for February, but I'd just like to put it out there.
Chair, if I could interject, I was just looking at the LAFCO bylaws, and the bylaws do set your regular meeting dates for the 4th Monday of each month, commencing at the hour of 4 p.m. So the commission would need to amend its bylaws to make that change.
Okay.
Well, I certainly have no objection to avoiding as much traffic as possible. So I'm open to the idea, certainly.
Through the chair, I'm open. I think we need the background information about how difficult it is to change the bylaws. That's the first thing. My last comment is I did say I wanted to welcome all 3 new county supervisors to LAFCO and look forward to working with them and getting things done. So welcome aboard.
But we changed the bylaws, I don't know, 2 months ago, and it was a very simple process. I don't think it's that difficult, but it does kind of bring to mind that it might be worth taking a look at. So.
Chair Leffel, we have a hand up from Commissioner Velasquez.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, yeah, thank you, Seferina. Thank you, Chair. I don't want to just interrupt you, so I'm trying to use my raise hand feature to make sure this is, a proper protocol, right? So thank you for that. I think obviously we have to go back and look, and thank you for bringing that to our attention. We obviously want to make sure that we're not contributing to, any of that additional congestion and traffic. I think my concern would be just in terms of public participation. allowing, as much public participation for these meetings is important. And I think for many members of our communities that are working families, the 3 o'clock time would not work. So I think that would be my only concern, and we can have additional discussions on it, but just making sure that there's adequate, sufficient across our region participation, that we just keep that in mind, that we're inclusive of everyone's participation. And I also want to congratulate all the 3 new county supervisors. Looking forward to working with you. And I also want to congratulate Mayor Craig as well for her appointment.
Thank you.
We have Commissioner Church. Comment?
Thank you. I also have some concerns with moving this too far forward too, because of the difficulty for the public, for working people really being able to come in here. It's at 4 o'clock, they're only losing maybe a couple hours of their work. If we start going back, then pretty soon it gets closer to an afternoon. I am sure they understand the time and the other problems with being in traffic, and maybe we can find some way to work this out onto here, but I really would not support going too far back or too earlier in the afternoon for those very same reasons.
Okay, anyone else?
Commissioner Craig?
Thank you. Yeah, so we're talking about this a little bit at Salinas City Hall because we have our 4 o'clock council meetings and public participation. And I think one of the things that we're working on is having, for items of interest, having a set time for setting those items of interest. So I certainly, Chair Leffel, am totally amenable to a 3 o'clock start date, or time, I should say. I think that's good, because then we're not getting into the 7 o'clock hour and things of that nature, particularly for long LAFCO meetings. But we could very feasibly have items of interest like big topics, because we know that we are addressing big topics, start at 4 p.m. or start at 5 p.m. and get consent and all the other things. We can do executive director's reports first, or whatever that looks like, just to be able to sort of make sure that we're doing the operations of the day, but also, starting and ending at a reasonable hour. So I'm open to whatever. I appreciate the consideration. I'm one of those people that will be in that traffic back and forth. So it'll be helpful for me if we start a little earlier. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Oglesby?
No, I guess I shouldn't have made a comment from the start, but what we don't want to do is talk about this too much. Right? And so that's my comment. I think put it on the agenda, talk about it once it's on the agenda.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Commissioner Root Askew.
Just want to say I fully appreciate it. Let's talk about it later. But one of the old Brown Act provisions does allow for multiple meeting locations so long as they're noticed. And we do have the option to have a dual meeting location at more than one location. So for those on the peninsula who don't want to drive as far, I think that's also something to consider that we're going to be putting into practice for a number of other committee meetings. Thank you.
And if any commissioner does have specific questions as the emergency proclamation is lifted, we can discuss offline as far as options. Just need to reach out to me.
Okay, any other commissioner comments on any other item? Okay, do we have an emotion for adjournment?
I'll make that I'll second that motion. Thank you.
A first and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.